Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Matthew Perry, owner and operator of Auto-Ness Therapies. I specialize in working with persons with persistent pain, chronic pain in their back, shoulders, hips, ankles, and knees. I'm here with my buddy and colleague, Dr. Cory Parker. I'll let you explain a little bit about what you do and how you do it, and go from there.
All right, thanks, Matt. I'm also a physical therapist, graduated with Dr. Matthew Perry. I work at a clinic called Physical Therapy and Hand Centers, as well as I'm a lab instructor at the University of St. Augustine. My background is very much based in movement science, exercise. I'm a lifelong athlete, hockey player. Also been an avid CrossFitter for the last almost decade, so looking to share some good exercises with you guys. Something that we've already talked about is the quarantine. Everyone is at home way more than they need to be without anywhere to work out right now. So we're going to share some things that we've been doing to stay busy at home. And maybe this is stuff you guys can do. Maybe you guys have stuff you want to share with us. So let us know. Hit us up.
Love it.
What I've been doing at home is this is called Indian clubs. One of the other physical therapists that I work with uses these as kind of restorative exercises. I'm going to show you a basic pattern that's really good for overhead athletes, such as CrossFitters needing to get into a good snatch position, clean and jerks, all that stuff. So what you're going to do is you're going to bring them across, out and up and down. So you kind of get a nice shoulder opening exercise here. Each of these clubs weighs about a pound. And this is the base exercise that I was told is used during Indian clubbing. And then you can do all sorts of different patterns. What I really like about it is a lot of it works in these diagonal patterns as opposed to going in straight flexion, straight abduction. And that goes a lot off of our neuromuscular re-education principles, PNF. So you can get trunk rotation and go different directions. I use these instead of running sometimes or rowing like I used to do in CrossFit workouts to get cardio. In addition to some neuromuscular training, opening up the shoulders, working on shoulder retraction in dynamic positions. So that's what I got. What have you been up to, Matt?
Wow. Well, one, that thing's really cool. During this COVID situation, I have been doing a lot of home exercising as well. I'll show you guys a exercise in just a minute, but I did have a couple questions for you, Cory, about those interesting devices. What do you call them again?
These are called Indian clubs.
Indian clubs. Well, that's super cool. For our viewers, would you call that a strengthening exercise or maybe a cardio exercise? You said you sometimes use it instead of running. So is that something where you can really get the heart rate going?
Yeah, these are 1-pounders. I don't know if they come lighter than this, but it's definitely on the lighter side. People will use heavier ones. I don't know what the max would be. I would imagine, somewhere around 8 pounds is the most, but you can look it up on YouTube. You might find people doing more. Because you're doing such dynamic motion with it, at first for me, it was just learning the patterns so that I don't hit myself in the face while I do it. But now that I've been more comfortable with it, like I can absolutely do some lunging activities. And I can do 50 reps of this now that I've been doing it more regularly while I'm doing squats or push-ups or other stuff that I might do in my workout. So you'll definitely, I wouldn't consider it true strengthening, but you can build strong, stable shoulders from the neuromuscular gains. And you have to do other accessory exercises to build real strength with it, but it can loosen you up and help you get into a better position for your overhead squat for sure.
Wow, really cool stuff. We'll come back to a couple more questions, but I guess I can show everyone an exercise real quick. You bear with me. Let's see what I got around here. I do have a kettlebell, but I do want to show everyone that you can use things around your house. I think my head might get cut off. If I get back here enough. Okay. Can you hear me okay, Cory?
I can hear you, Matt.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so I have this, not soda, LaCroix or LaCroix, however you like to pronounce it. We are going to do a suitcase deadlift. What I am doing is holding this in one hand. I'm stabilizing within my core. I am hinging back, trying to almost touch the ground, and standing up. Again, coming down and standing up. All of my power is coming through my butt. I'll show you a side view in just a moment. My shoulders are down and back. I'm not hunched forward. I have a nice flat back. Again, from a side view, butt coming back, generating all this power. I have a lot of tension back here in my bottom, squeezing to come up. A really important thing when you have something on one side is because gravity kind of wants you to do this, right? You want to be nice and tall, nice and secure, nice and locked in. As I come down, I'm not doing this. You want to be able to draw a straight line through me. And aside from the up and down, you wouldn't really know I was moving a ton. As in, I'm not doing that. And squeeze to come up. Then come to the other side, do the same thing. Let me reset. There we go. And for these exercises, and along with Cory's exercises, it's not about quantity of reps, it's about quality. Am I correct in that, Cory?
Definitely correct in that.
Yeah, you need to make sure you have the right technique and are doing it as well as you can. That's how you get the most out of each exercise. There shouldn't be any exercises that are easy, because they all should be very mindful.
The other thing that I liked is that you use something that you have around the house. Not everyone owns a set of Indian clubs or even dumbbells or barbells. But if you did like the exercise with the Indian clubs, you can use water bottles, ladles, anything of that size to be creative at home to still do the same movements, but get a good workout.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's all about being creative, and exercise should be fun and not overcomplicated, right? Whatever, like Cory said, whatever you have lying around the house, you can use. I have a can right here. I could do the same thing with that can. So, yeah, Cory, we really appreciate having you on. I did have a question because it's something that's come up a lot with a lot of my patients, as well as just people I've been speaking with recently. We've always attributed our lack of working out as a society based off saying we don't have a lot of time, right? Oh, I don't have time to do this because I have an hour commute to and from, I have kids, I have a lot of things that take up my time, and I just don't have time for fitness. I'm sure you've heard that before, Cory?
Yeah, I hear that all the time.
All the time, absolutely. Well, now, in the time of, the coronavirus and all of that, we're all home. A lot of us, don't have that commute anymore. We might be working 4, 5, 6 hours a day as opposed to the 8 to 10 to 12 hours a day. So we have time. However, it's hard. It seems hard to find the wherewithal to still do our exercise. I know I've even had a little bit of motivation difficulties, trying to keep consistent with my working out. I don't know if you've experienced that yourself.
Yeah, definitely. You know, being someone that liked to work out a lot before all of this, when the gym started to close, I had a hard time. And, you know, what I've done is I've done more frequent, shorter workouts. So I might get in three, I'll call it bouts of exercise a day. You know, sometimes I'll count taking the dogs for a walk as, you know, a bout of exercise if I'm doing it for 30 minutes to an hour. But I might be doing that with the weight vest right now too. I might be running the dogs. And then, you know, doing like 20-minute yoga flows instead of an hour, I find to help me with my flexibility. But then I still have the time to do the other things that I have to do at home, around the house, for work. Um, so that's been successful for me, as well as staying in touch with friends who are also trying to work out that might hold you accountable. Some of the gyms I go to offer online classes, and have a community of people online who are trying to motivate each other to do similar workouts and talk about new fun things to do. So I think finding people who want to talk about workouts with you, to find fun things, because you know, everyone can go outside for a run, but if you don't like running, you probably aren't going to do it too much. So that's why I started using Indian clubs to mix up something that I consider more of a cardiovascular exercise. I've seen people use a skateboard and bands and push against the wall to use it as a rowing machine. So we have an opportunity to be creative with the things we have around the house, to have fun workouts and share new ways to do it.
Well, I think that's really awesome. So yeah, I'm in agreement. I think creativity, in your exercise is so important, to not only get into exercise, but to continue with, your routine. And yeah, that was a great point. We can't forget that walking the dog is still, exercise, right? I'm not talking about just, uh, 30 seconds down and 30 seconds back, but, going on a walk. And the other point, of that, like you were alluding to, is exercise is so good for our mental capacity and mental well-being, as well as our physical, right?
Yeah, I agree. You know, before we got on the phone, I already worked out this morning. I did some business stuff, and then I took the dogs for a walk to clear my mind, and um, I feel pretty good right now. So sometimes the walk is just as good for your mental state of being as it is for your physical.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And Corey, what kinds of things are you doing to kind of keep your community, either online or offline, engaged in exercises? Are you doing any kind of, Zoom, things to work out with others, or what are you doing?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I am. This morning, my workout was a Zoom session. I am fortunate that I decided to buy a barbell and weights way before all this started. So I have some equipment at home. And I decided to reach out to the Facebook community and see if anyone who had a barbell wanted to Zoom together and have a workout. And one of my old CrossFit buddies hit me up, and we scheduled it for this morning, and we made it happen. And you know, I lifted a lot more than I've lifted in the last month, just having another buddy there to push me. So I'm going to start doing that more often. So if anyone listening wants to Zoom and work out, I love doing Olympic weightlifting, but there's plenty of other stuff I like doing too. So if you need help exercising, talk to me, talk to Matt, because we know how to make it fun.
Yes, absolutely. We're into helping you move better, improve your well-being, and and just all around having a great time, right? That's the best thing. We have the best job ever.
Yeah.
We work out with people all day. So yeah, as far as closing goes, is there anything else you'd like to add? Where people can maybe find you, as you're growing your community and things that you have going on.
Um, Yeah, so I work at physical therapy and hand centers. I work between two of our clinics, one in San Marcos, one in Escondido, so I'm up there. Um, and, personal Instagram accounts. I'm going to start posting some more exercises so that there's more free resources out there. And just thank you for having me on. This is something we've talked about doing for a while, and I'm glad we finally made it happen. So yeah, thank you, Matt.
Of course, man. Of course. Glad to have you on, and I appreciate you, buddy, and hope you're staying safe out there.
Yeah, you too, as with everyone else who might be listening.
All right, man. Take care.
All right,
Bye.
you too.